Fightmaster Yoga. I'm Leslie Fightmaster. I wanted to let you know that you are already awesome, and I'm just here to let you know that today. Our class was a request from Jess Lancaster. She wanted to stretch out her quads and hip flexors, the fronts of the thighs. So this class is for you, Jess. I hope you like it. If you do like the class, and if any of you and all of you like the class, don't forget to hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more people will see our class, and if we could get 1,000 likes in the first couple of days, that would be so awesome. So we need 2 blocks and a strap and a blanket if you want to pad up your knees. Roll out your mat. Let's get started.
Welcome back. We're going to begin sitting nice and tall, and welcome back to our first class after our 30-day Hatha Yoga Happiness. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so honored if you decided to join me on that beautiful journey. Let's sit up tall, bring the hands together, palms touch. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. And then releasing. I don't know if you heard Elmer's intention in the background. He wanted to get his intention on here. Going to make our way into child's pose. So if you would like to continue practicing every day, please visit fightmasteryoga.com. We have a daily class. We're going through our 90-day yoga challenge or program. And I would love for you to join us. And then after that is over, I believe we're going to do another program, and we will collaborate with Yoga with Tim for those of you who know him. On your inhale, come up onto hands and knees. Bring your chest forward, lift your chin, lift your tailbone up. On your exhale, take your hips back to your heels. Keep the arms stretching in front as your hips go back. And again, inhale, bring the chest forward. Lift the chin, lift the tailbone, draw the shoulder blades toward the waist. Exhale, round the back. Bring the hips all the way down to the heels and stretch out your spine. And inhale again, bringing the heart through the gates of your arms. Keep your belly lifted gently, and then exhale, rounding the back. Take your hips all the way back to the heels and stretch. Just warming up the spine. Inhale again, onto the knees. This time, walk your hands. Keep your hands where they are. Step your right foot up by your right hand. Keep your left knee on the floor and start to sink forward. Tuck your back toes under and draw your hips down toward, so your buns down toward the backs of the knees. Pull your belly in, and then inhale, lift your arms up. Try and draw your right hip back and lift your left hip up away from the floor. And then exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest, and make a big circle. Inhale, arms reach up, palms face each other. Exhale, bend the elbows like you're scraping them on a wall behind you. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. And exhale, open up the chest and big circle. Bring the hands down. Straighten out the front leg. Come onto the heel. If you can't reach the floor very easily, use your blocks on either side of your front foot, and then fold over your straight front leg, keeping the right hip drawing back and sending the left hip forward. So stretching out the hamstrings. And then we'll take it back into table and step the left foot forward. Left foot, make sure the knee is over the ankle. Tuck your back toes under and draw your left hip back. Lift up your hip bones. Lift your hip points up. So lift the belly up away from the front thigh. Watching that we're not overarching the lower back. So lengthen your buns toward the backs of the knees and lift up through the back ribs. Draw your front ribs down. So keeping that, and then add the arms on your inhale as you continue to pull the left hip back. Lift the right hip, send it forward. And then exhale, bend the elbows, open up the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up like you're moving through water. Make your own resistance. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, keep the belly lifted as you bend and open, or as you open the chest. And now straighten the left leg, pull the left hip back, lengthen on the inhale. And then fold over your straight left leg. Try to keep your spine long. So if you're not reaching the floor easily, use your bricks or your blocks, whatever you have, or your books. Someone uses Harry Potter books. It's wonderful. And then come back into table. And then tuck the toes for downward facing dog. So for this first one, Make sure the arms are shoulder distance and the feet are hips width. And then bicycle your legs, bending one knee and the other. Spread out your fingers nice and wide. And then bend the knees, hips high, and straighten out through the legs. And then inhale, come forward into plank pose. Bring your chest forward. Exhale, lower slowly to the floor. You can always take your knees down first, then interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs. Inhale, lift the chest. Press all 10 toenails into the floor. Pick up your belly. Keep reaching your buns towards your heels. And then hands by low ribs. Press onto the knees, downward dog. Just still warming up. Get into those thighs and hip flexors today. Inhale, come forward again to plank pose. Knees up or down. Exhale, shift forward. Lower all the way down to the belly. Interlace other thumb or pinky and inhale, peel the chest up again. Make sure your toes are pointed straight back and your inner thighs are lifting toward the ceiling. Then bring your forearm down and reach back your right hand to your right foot. And then start to lift the foot up or bring it forward so your right heel is going towards your right glute. Now, if it's hard to reach, grab your strap and bring it forward that way. So the left forearm's parallel with the front of the mat. Keep the knee pointed straight back. So we don't need the knee to move out. And then pull the belly in and keep reaching your buns towards the backs of your knees. And then we'll do the other side. We're reaching for the left foot. Lift it up. You can get a stretch that way or bring the hand forward or use your strap on the foot. And use your strap on the foot, bring it forward, and then create a little resistance so you can feel the stretch in the front of the thigh and the hip flexor maybe too. Make sure the knee is pointed straight back. Make sure the other toes are pointed straight back. Keep lifting the hip bones up toward the lower ribs here. And breathe. One more breath. And then slowly release it. Put your strap off to the side and hands by low ribs. Inhale to upward facing dog. Thighs and knees off the floor. And exhale, down dog. If upward dog doesn't work for you, please stick with cobra. Arms shoulder distance, feet hips width. Keep pressing the weight up to the hips, then down to the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop the feet up. Take an inhale, look up, lengthen, hips over heels. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees as needed. If the legs are straight, hips over heels, then inhale, sweep the arms up, look up, lengthen. And exhale, bring the hands down. Come to the front of your mat, Tadasana, Samastitihi. Finding your grounding through the feet, lifting through the kneecaps, forming the legs, and then inhale, sweep the arms up, look up if that feels comfortable with your neck. Exhale, hinge from the hips, so you're coming forward with a long spine. Then inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step to plank pose. And lower chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than the elbows if you're taking the full chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. Shoulders above wrists, and exhale, tuck the toes for down dog. Try and tuck both toes at the same time. You can go up and over to roll over the toes, or you can drop your knees down for a moment, tuck both toes under, and then make your way to down dog. Just to keep balance, looking forward, walk the hands all the way back to the feet, and then take the feet as wide as the mat and drop down into Malasana, a squat. Make sure your knees and your toes are tracking. So I have to turn my toes out in order for my knees and toes to track. You might be able to keep your feet parallel or somewhere in between. But just make sure they're tracking. Also, if it bothers the knees, don't go so low. And keep your hips a little bit higher than the knees. Now reaching forward, stretch out the spine. If you can balance there, and then slide yourself back into downward facing dog, all the way back. Inhale, lift your right leg from the inner thigh, drop the outer right hip down. Then exhale, step it up by the right hand. Take the left knee down, keep the toes tucked under again. Inhale, reach up, sink the hips forward, but pull the right hip back and lift your hip bones towards your lower ribs. Then exhale, Bending the back knee, reach back for the left foot. If it doesn't work, grab your strap, put it on the left foot, and then you can reach back that way. Or you can always keep it down if it just doesn't work quite for you. But keep pulling the right hip back. The left heel is moving toward the left glute, the bun, and slowly release it. And now take the back foot flat, line up front heel and back arch, grab a block to the little toe side of the foot, reach up for side angle, or you can take your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm in line with your ear, spin the tricep forward, and then pressing so that you're trying to turn your belly button up toward the sky. Press some weight into the front heel, and then release. Pick up the back heel, come to chaturanga, then inhale to upward facing dog or cobra, always your choice, then exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up from the inner thigh so the hips are level, and then exhale, step it up by the left hand, take the right knee down. Keep the back toes tucked under for a little more stability. Drop the tailbone down, lift the hip bones up, and you don't even really have to sink forward very much, just until you feel a nice stretch in the back leg. Then stay or pick up that back leg, reaching for the foot, drawing it forward, or just holding it back there. And remember, you can always use the strap here as well. Keep pulling the left hip back. So we want to try and keep the hips and the shoulders squared up toward the front of the mat. And then little resistance of the foot moving away from the glute, but then using the arm to push it forward gently will give you a nice stretch in that front thigh and hip flexor. Now take the back foot flat, line up heel to arch. A block on the little toe side of the left foot if you've got it, or take left forearm to left thigh. Right arm over, spin the tricep down. This is Utthita Parshvakonasana, extended side angle. Make sure to press through the outer edge of the back foot and lift your back inner thigh. The front knee is over the ankle. And then inhale, bring the hand down, pick up the back heel, and come to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, your choice always. Exhale, downward facing dog, all the way back, stretch. Now if you want to break, please take it. You can always take the knees down and rest. Whenever you need to, you can hit that pause button. And otherwise, look forward, step or hop your feet up. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale to fold hips over heels if legs are straight. Now bend the knees and come to Utkatasana, chair pose. So in your chair pose, make sure your buns are reaching toward the floor, lifting the hips up and knees are pointed straight ahead. Inhale to stand. Come forward to the top of the mat, and then taking the right foot from the little toe side, ground down through the left foot. Find something to focus on to help with balance. Inhale, left arm up. Try and keep the hips level so your hip points point straight ahead like headlights. And then you're bringing the heel up toward the glute. Then start to stretch it back. But as you stretch it back, drop your outer right hip down to try and keep the hips level. And don't even worry about coming forward. Just stretch back. And then inhale, slowly back through to center. So the trick is trying to release it, trying to keep the hips level in this one, because as soon as you stretch that leg back, it wants to externally rotate, but we want to keep the hips neutral. So now the other side, left heel toward the glute, right arm up. Keep the hip points squared toward the front of the mat. Reach up through the right arm, get length. Then exhale, start to press the foot back. Keep dropping that hip down. It's so hard, but just do the best you can, dropping the hip down as you press the foot back into the hand, creating some resistance there. Then slowly inhale, make your way back up. And stretch for a moment, and then release. Back to Samastitihi. Inhale, bend the knees into chair pose. Exhale, belly to thighs, then straighten the legs any amount. Inhale, lengthen, look up. And exhale, step into plank or hop back, land in chaturanga, lower from plank. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Have your blocks handy. Now take a twist. Left hand down, right arm up, but pull the right hip back. Try and keep your hips level. Lift your back hip up. Lift the back inner thigh up. Stretch through the top arm. If you can reach the floor, you don't need the block, but sometimes it's hard. Now take the back foot flat, heel to arch, and reach the top arm in line with the ear. Spin the tricep down, back to side angle. Keep the knee over the ankle. Inhale, release, come onto the back heel, and again to the twist. Right arm up, right knee stays over ankle, pull the right hip back, and then release that hand down, take it to the block again, line up heel and arch. Reach your left arm in line with the ear, spin the left tricep down, press through the outer edge of the back foot, lifting the back inner thigh, taking the left hand back down. And now step up, keep your knee bent. We're on the blocks. It's a forward fold with the knee bent. Then inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward, keep a long spine. The knee is still bending off the floor. Can you reach back and find your foot? If you can, hold it there. Maybe even press the foot away from you. But keep the hips level. And then slowly releasing that foot back, finding plank pose and lowering through chaturanga. Then inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, left leg up, lift it from the inner thigh. Exhale, slowly step it up by the left hand. So you can always keep your fingertips on the floor if they reach. Otherwise, use your blocks. They are helpful to create more space. Right hand on the block, left hip back. Inhale, twist. Reach the right arm up. Straight up, shoulders are in line with each other. Keep pulling the left hip back, lift the right inner thigh up. Then left hand down to the little toe side of the foot, line up heel to arch. So take the back foot flat, and then reach your right arm in line with your ear. Spin the tricep forward, as if you're trying to turn your belly up toward the ceiling. Ground through the outer edge of the back foot. Now right hand down, pick up the heel again. Pull the left hip back, inhale, left arm up. So twisting. Keep pulling the left hip back, drop it down. Stretch through the top arm. Then bring it back down the left foot, and right arm will come up as we take the back foot flat. Reach the right arm in line with the ear. Lift the back inner thigh up and stretch from the left hip crease through the left armpit. Take the right hand back down. Step up onto the left foot, drop the outer right hip down, bend the right knee, then walk your blocks forward and lengthen your spine. So if you could touch your heel to your glute and then reach your left hand back, maybe you can find the foot back there, maybe not. Don't force it. You always have a strap too. Lifting the foot, but dropping the outer right hip down. And then this time we'll just step the feet together and fold over the legs. Hips over the heels, lengthen on the inhale, look up. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. And then step or hop to the knees gently. Take a block and sit back on the block right between your heels. If you don't have a block, you can sit on your heels, or you can sit your hips between the heels on the floor. And then leaning back, lift the hips up and reach your buns toward the backs of the knees. Then set yourself back down. And then you can stay with sitting upright, or you can stay with hands on the floor, or come onto your forearms. And same thing, lift your hips up, but keep the knees in line with the hips. Don't let the knees go wide. Reach your buns toward the backs of the knees. Draw the hip bones up as you pull your front hips down. And then sit back down. So hopefully you'll start to feel that in the fronts of your thighs. Now, if you can reach the floor with your buns, I'm saying buns a lot. If you can reach the floor with your buns, you can do the same thing. Hands on the floor or forearms, or you can lay all the way down in Supta Virasana. So in Supta Virasana, continue to lift your hip bones up towards your lower ribs and reach your buns towards the backs of your knees. Make sure the knees don't go wider than the hips. If this doesn't work for your knees, please do not do it. Just stay sitting up or leaning back a little bit. If you're in Supta Virasana, it's one of those postures that is an acquired taste. And then pressing yourself back up, come onto the knees, stretch them out slowly back to downward facing dog. All the way back again. Look forward, step or come through and sit. And then bend your right knee, keep your left leg extended. Right hand behind, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, take it across and twist. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, roll your left shoulder back. So the hips are level. We'll make a little twist in where the belly turns, and then a little more in the rib cage, and then try the most in the chest twist. And then come back to center. Bend the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, right arm, stretch up tall. Exhale, bring it across to twist. Inhale, lengthen your spine once more. And then exhale, start to make your twist. So focus the twist in the upper back. Belly pulls in. Make sure your right leg is active, the right toe is pointing straight up. Then inhale, head to center and unwind. And lean back onto your back. Now take your right ankle just past your left knee for thread the needle. Hold onto the left shin. Or you can cradle the right leg and left knee can be bent or straighten it out for a variation of pigeon pose. Just a nice hip stretch, whatever works best for you. Then release it and do the other side. Left ankle just past right knee. Make sure to flex the left ankle. Hold the right leg or cradle the left leg, right knee bent or straight. This one's a nice stretch for the outer hip. So we did a lot for the hip flexor in front of the thigh. Then let's make our way into our final resting pose. So take a few moments to get comfortable here. If you have props you like to use, rest your head or roll up a blanket under your knees. Cover up, whatever you like. Once you get there into Savasana, just relax. Release your ujjayi breathing, quiet mind and quiet body. I'll be back in just a minute. Our quote today is from the Dalai Lama. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. So we'll begin to take some longer breaths as we reawaken the body. Start to make some little movements in your fingers and your toes. Start to move your hands and your feet, your arms and your legs. And take a nice long stretch overhead, like a good morning stretch. Stretching through arms and legs. And then bend your knees, rolling off to your right side. Just take a moment to honor the intention that you set today. And slowly press yourself up. Sitting up nice and tall, bring the hands in front of the heart, then hands to forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications, sending out positive energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to push the like button. Let's see if we can get those 1,000 likes in the next couple of days. That would be awesome. And visit me if you want to continue daily practice go to fightmasteryoga.com. There's a class up there every day. As I mentioned, we're doing our 90 days over, and I'd love for you to join me. And if you have any desire to go on a retreat this summer, we have a couple of European retreats that are scheduled, and one in Italy and one in Greece. You can find the information there on fightmasteryoga.com. And while you're there, join our mailing list. Most importantly, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.